50th anniversary of the Rotary Club of Gonzales. What a great event. Welcome everybody. Let's hear from all the presidents.
In 1968, Fred Palmer came to me one day and asked me if I would be interested in joining or helping to form a Rotary Club in Gonzales. And I was maybe vaguely familiar with the word Rotary, but I certainly knew nothing about it. And I let Fred know. I said, Fred, I don't know anything about that. I said, what in the world is a Rotary Club? And Fred said, well, Gordon, he said, the Rotary Club, that's the epitome of a service organization. He said, if you want to see what a service organization is all about, that's what Rotary is. He said it's an international thing, and it's made up of the leaders of the community, the business leaders and professional leaders in the communities throughout the world. So, years, I'm not sure how that goes today, but back in those days, you were really looked down upon if you even considered, because usually whenever you would ask somebody, it was, yes, I'll do that, whatever it takes to make this a better community and the world a better place. Our reputation as a good club came about from the very beginning. We did things by the book, and we would have to thank Mr. Fred Palmer for that, because Fred was an ex-military man, and he had the book on Rotary, and he'd bring it to the meetings, and if we got...
For what we do locally as a club to assist people of our community, the elderly, youth, the hungry, and others in need of assistance. Also for the generous financial support of our club to support the Rotary Foundation and Polio Plus, and to help people in the world. Looking of the rice dressing for a number of years and seeing the happy faces of our seniors, remembering that most of them are responsible for making our community the successful community it is today, being able to give back.
I started this Rotarian of the Month project, and it really went well, and I was hoping the presidents would continue it, but it didn't. We put flags all over the city of Gonzales on poles, and that was really interesting to see us climbing poles and drilling into posts. In my mind, the biggest was I helped start the Ascension Fund back in 1989. The fund has raised over $1,400,000, and it is used for school and classroom grants. I served on the board. I was original board member and still sit on the board and have been for 29 years.
I encouraged our board to take on the Ascension Fund as a project for that particular year. As a matter of fact, my board was the first board for the Ascension Fund, and I served on that board myself for 10 years from its inception in 1990. As it turned out, we actually raised over $1 million. Our goal was only $750,000, but we raised over $1 million. And that Ascension Fund is still in effect today, and is still thriving, and is still benefiting the schools of Ascension Parish. A group of workers were able to accomplish a great deal with a small group, and that's what I liked about the Gonzales Rotary Club. We didn't need large numbers to accomplish big things, such as the Ascension Fund, where we raised over $1 million.
Most about the Rotary is the camaraderie of all the people. We have one of the best, I think, best clubs in the state, anywhere in our area, because of the way we get along and what we do. What I remember mostly about my year as president is that we had the district conference here at the Holiday Inn that year, and Jay Patterson was the chairman of it, and we had a big tent out. The governor was from Gonzales that year. His name Tony Usimalu, and Tony really fit the case. And what happened that year, and what was so funny, is that we even had a parade for him and crowned him as King Usi.
I was asked to join Rotary by two great Rotarians, Jay Patterson and Paul LeBlanc, who immediately got me involved in a lot of the projects, primarily the Ascension Fund golf tournament, which I had the privilege of serving our club for was the food festival to benefit the St. Teresa Food Bank. We looked into it, and we created that, and we started that under my term as president, and it's really something that I'm very, very proud of with the help with my board and the rest of the Rotary Club. We made it a great event from day one. Changes families, and that's a tremendous thing. I think the involving youth at a young age with Rotary and teaching that it's not about yourself, it's about serving others, and you get more gratification, enjoyment, and pleasure out of serving your community. And I think Rotary is one of the organizations that's always pushed that. And
It's a great civic organization. I think it's the best in this area, and I'm proud to say it. I've been a long-time member, glad to be part of it, and all the things we do in the community. Estimate that over the years we've raised over $300,000. I'm very proud of that, because I know it goes to a very good cause. But those are the things, you know, and the Food Fest, of course, helps feed people. So those type of things is what I'm most proud of. Things we do in the community. You know, we talk about March of Dimes, we talk about the Food Fest, the pickup of canned goods, kids in the park. We serve jambalaya at the Jambalaya Festival, with just a lot of good things we do. I'm sure.
Usual is we had the Habitat for Humanities, and we built the Habitat House. And getting our Rotary Club members there to put the siding on the Habitat House was an experience, because we had certain Rotary members whose hand never held a hammer and didn't know how to saw or didn't know what actually they were doing. So to have our Rotary Club members come together and work on a Habitat House was really something that was special. And although, you know, you support polio, eradication of polio, and you support clean water, and you support the literacy, and a lot of things you support as Rotary, the good thing about supporting Habitat is you're not just writing a check and making a donation, but you see what you started with before you went to the house, and you saw what you accomplished after we finished the house.
And so what we did was, with the help of the district, because Dallas Rotary Club teamed up with the a Rotary Club in Zimbabwe, and what the grant was for providing a borehole at a young offenders prison. Actually, what we did was we provided the funds to drill a borehole for fresh water, as well as provided gardening equipment for them to grow gardens there. Individual clubs, what they do all over the world, each week, each month, each year, we're helping people all the time. So
The doubt was the development of what we call the big wheel. The big wheel was something Lucy Marlborough saw in Missouri. He said he wanted to have one for our club before he died. And I immediately said, I'm the man, I'm gonna get it done. It took us 365 days, but we got it done and brought it to the next changing of the guard. My favorite project came about when I was district governor. It's a program called Choices. Choices addresses the epidemic of high school dropouts. It says, I'm gonna give you my shirt. So a few months later, in the mail, I got this shirt, and I'm so proud of it that he really gave me the shirt off his back. And that's why Rotary is going to continue to do great things for world peace. But as the years went by, he viewed that ship as a Rotary Club, and he told his successor, he said, that's the good ship Rotary. Notice it's at full sail, always going somewhere. And I think I took that to heart. So babies against the polio virus. So held those babies in my arm and actually dropped those drops in the mouth so that it would not get polio.
Many of our projects I really think are admirable. Especially important to me is the kids in the park, because to give joy to the children that have challenges that are difficult, make their lives difficult, is really important to me. It's a well-oiled machine, and we have many projects that we do each year. So My biggest challenge as a member of as president of the club that year was to get out the way and let the club function. Picnics and parties and everything where lots of the kids attended, so I felt like I grew up in this club.
That my tenure as president of Gonzales Rotary was one of the highlights of my professional career. You know, we take care of youth with scholarships, and we go all the way up the ladder to take care of senior citizens. We always give them glory and honor at our senior citizen Christmas party. And then the biggest thing for me is feeding hungry people. And it was in 1997 that we had the 75th anniversary of the city. This club, we have a fantastic club. We do a lot of good things. That, I guess that motto, we didn't do it, but a lot of younger clubs call us the old people club. Used to be the old men club, and I'm so glad we have women now in our club because they're good workers. And anyway, I think we're known for all the things we do. I mean,
Rotary Club is one of the biggest honors that I've experienced in my life, and it's one that I will certainly remember for a long, long time. The support that I got from the Rotary Club, from my colleagues in this group was overwhelming, and it was very touching and humble to be able to be called the president of this group. Gonzales Rotary is the best vehicle for me to be able to give back to the community because it's a group of dedicated people, it's well known and well respected in the community, and this is the best way that I know how to give back to those who have been so good to me. Honor to be more self-sustaining and less dependent on aid. There are just so many ways that Rotary is making the world a better place. We don't have time in this video to cover it.
Things about the Gonzales Rotary Club that I'm most proud of are the Ascension Fund and the Food Fest. The Food Fest is just such a great community event, and it is so appropriate that we would have a food fest to feed the hungry. And the Ascension Fund, which started before I was in the club, now has over $1 million in its corpus, and they use grants to teachers in schools to better the education in Ascension Parish. And I think that's this club's greatest achievement. Fundraiser. And many of the other board members looked at me and said, "What's a color run?" So anyway, after that we partnered with Sandoval High School and we coordinate an annual color run, and we used the proceeds of that event for the Ascension Fund. I made it a priority, and I encouraged everyone to work on diversifying this club. And while it didn't happen in my tenure, thanks to Mark LaCour and some others, shortly thereafter, we became a much more diverse club. I just have a few things that I want to ask in closing. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Is it beneficial to all concerned? Think about it.
And I'm not sure if it's just our Rotary Club, but with all of them is the diversity, and also the difference in the age groups and everything, trying to bring everybody together to understand the good of Rotary. We have older people, we have younger people, we have challenge. We're all looking at that together as to how to make them understand that we are all Christians, and we all have our own values and everything, and most of our values always stems around helping your neighbor. And this is one thing that Rotary can do as part of being a group of people helping one another, whether it be during disasters, for hurricanes, or for floods, or for people that do not have food.
Talk about this year. I'm a current president of the Rotary Club, and my term is about to expire. I think we had a very successful year, and my motto, if you will, for this year was, or is, that 80% of success is showing up. So one of the things I stressed was participation in our luncheon meetings and in all of our events. One of the things that we did do this year that may not have been done recently was set goals. And those goals were set in an attempt to improve the club, of course, but also to compete for the Presidential Citation Award.
This, you might be 10 years, 20 years, it might be a 100-year anniversary for the Rotary Club of Gonzales. And I hope that you've gotten some from this video that will help you carry forward and help you remember the history that went on before you. Thank you very much.